Hello and welcome back to Matt's Coins, and the lot I've been eager to get into, and I'm not going to waste any more time getting into it. It's this lot that should be 3 decimal. And as you can see here, 5 kilograms of pre-decimal to be precise. And not only is it 5 kilograms of pre-decimal, it's also 5 kilograms of pre-decimal in a bank bag. So I suppose it would have helped if I'd have zoomed out a little bit. I quite like having a bank bag. Come on, knife. There you go. Lots of varieties to look out for, as per usual with penny hunts, all of which I shall talk you through as the hunt goes on. You can see here there's quite a few pennies, some original copper bags. Sadly some of them are in a pretty bad shape. So we've got 5 shillings of copper, Barclays Bank for that one. The old Midland Bank, 5 shillings of copper. So this is dated 1969. And this one, again, not in great shape, unfortunately. I don't see a date on this one. But, let's get these bags out of the way anyway, and let's see what we got. I'm seeing Edwards, I'm seeing George, I'm seeing Elizabeth, but I'm not seeing anything in the way of Victoria, at the moment at least. That's not to say there's not, I'm just not seeing it in this pile. So let's get cracking and have a look. I'm going to start off with a 1908. 1967. Another 67. 1936, George V. 61, lowest minted year apart from the 53. 1918, sadly, no mint mark. 1907. Okay, you got another 1918, no mint mark though. That's a 64. And a 65. 66. 1947. 1935. And another 35. I'm hoping by the dirty and the dustiness coming off of these that these haven't been searched through since they were put into that bag. 1918, no mint mark. 1932. I'm not going to dwell on the Elizabeth ones. No mint mark on the 1912, but I will be taking a close look at any of the dates that have got varieties elsewhere. 1902, that's the high tide variety. There is a low tide variety as well. Bit of gunk in the old one. 1946, looking for the little mark to the right of the E. There isn't one on that one sadly, so it's not the dot variety, even though it's more like a little quotation, little quotation mark. This will be the wide gap between the A and the B. 1913, there are varieties on the 13 which I will look out for. Another Elizabeth. I said I didn't see any Victorias, there is one, and it's a 1901. I'm not sure what's going on with this side. You got 66, 67, and 67. There's a 1921 with the narrow gap between the A and the B. 1939, looking to find some 1940s if we can, so I can check them for that new variety. Yep, that's the narrow gap. Look, there is an extremely rare wide gap variety on the 1920. 1916, you've got the recessed and non-recessed ear. That's the non-recessed ear. That's a 1930. (1936), 1962, and 1967. Oops, get to that. 1938, 1921, wide gap. That's 1935. 1920, narrow gap. 61. There's a 37. 1919, no mint mark. 66. 1937, damage at the end of that one. 64. 67. Okay, you got another 1919, but no mint mark with it. That's a 63. 1915 again. This is a recessed ear. You can see the ear, but you can also see the broken tooth above the colon between the T and the O written on. I think they're actually a bit more common than you give them credit for. And a couple of Elizabeths to finish that handful. And some 67s shining up. I suppose if this is a late 1960s, you're going to get lots of 67s. There's a normal ear, 1916. 1920, narrow gap. 1938, 62, 46, let's have another look for that dash, it's not there. They are there to be found. I found a few already in previous hunts. I'm going to do one more handful and I've got some domestic duties to do. Another 1918, no mint mark. 67, there's a 36, there's another 46, nope. 67, 62, 67, 64, 67. And another Victoria, 1899 this time. 38, and a 37. Oops. Right, next handful. Another George, 1939. 1948. Would be nice to find a 50 or a 51. 1915, that's a normal year. 67. And there's a 62. 1937. 1918, no mint mark. 65. 1918, again no mint mark. We'll find it again. 64. 67. 1920, narrow gap, which is the expected variety. 1944, two date widths to look at. You're looking at the second four and its position in relation to the wave above. It'll either be to the centre or just to the left. I shall endeavour to put up a picture. 1915, normal year. Another 1915. Normal year. There's a 1910, Edward VII. 1947. 1945. Some double dates to look out for on this particular series. Nothing's jumping out, but I will look at it under the scope, and if I do have any, I will be sure to show you. Now, the new 1940 variety, I've already done a video on it, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a line through the centre of that 0 and seeing if it hits the top or to the side of one of the border teeth. That looks to me like it was to the side, so that is the normal variety. It would be nice to find one of them. We shall see. No, no mark. 1919, no mint mark. So it tells me I won't be replicating what Coin Patrol did in one of his recent videos and find two 1919 KNs in the same handful. I'll be lucky to find one KN at all. Wide gap there. Alright, 1911. The Gay BX is the one to look out for. That's the hollow neck variety. There are some markers to look out for, which off the top of my head I can't remember. But I don't think it is, but it will be checked. And I'm sure I'll just put in the details of the marker when I come to do the editing. There's an old Victoria, 1863. 1906. 66. 67. There's another 45. Don't see the signs of the doubling, but you know, like I always say, I do a lot of checking under the scope after these hunts. I'm going to do one more handful and that'll be it for this particular video. As always, I try to keep them to around 15 minutes. We're about to pass the 15-minute mark now, so now's a good time to wrap this one up. Right, so I'm just going to skirt over the Elizabethans. 1912, again there's mint marks, that one isn't. 1902, high tide again. 36, some Elizabeths, and to finish, and 1921 with a narrow gap. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe, hit that like button, and leave me a comment, and I will see you on the next video.